Hey guys, it's Rebecca. Thank you so much for joining me for today's video. Today's video is going to be part 2 of my YouTube anniversary series, I guess you can say. At the beginning of the month, I did a video with my panning story, and I had a little giveaway in that video, and the way for you to enter that giveaway was to leave me a question in the comments so I could do a Q&A video. I already contacted the winner, and she has accepted the prize, so she's gonna be getting her stuff soon. So I figured that for this video I would answer the questions that you guys left me in that video. So I'm gonna try to go as fast as I can because I had filmed this already first thing this morning. I filmed it, it was about an hour long. I figured I can edit it down to a more manageable length, reasonable length. And I just got home right now and I went to import the video into my computer so I can edit it. And the computer was telling me there was no file, there was no data in the file I was trying to download. So I don't know if it's because the file was too long or I don't know what happened. So I have to film it again and I have to now kind of rush it because the sun is coming down and I don't want to this video to be super dark and gloomy. So I'm just gonna get started. Thank you guys for entering and for leaving me a question. I wasn't sure if if I was gonna get any questions, but you guys came through. Thank you so much. The giveaway, there was only 26 people who entered, so keep an eye out for those giveaways because you guys had a pretty good chance of winning because like I said, there were only 26 people entered. There were multiple entries because you had multiple chances to enter, but I went in and I counted the people and there was only 26. So your chances were pretty good. Stay tuned for the next giveaway. But anyway, let's just get started with the questions that you guys want to know. Color Mania Fool wants to know if I can devote an entire video to introduce you guys to my fur babies. I have 2 dogs in case you didn't know. And she says that there's a furry friend tag. I didn't know there was a furry friend tag and I had to look it up. And it's about 5 or 6 questions long, so I'm definitely gonna do it. There were some people that were like, yes, we wanna know your dogs. So you guys kind of have seen them in the background. I am gonna do a furry friend tag, that way you guys can get to know my babies. But yes, that will be coming. Ana Nunez wants to know what are my holy grail lipsticks. I really don't have, just because I have so many, it's really hard for me to repurchase things that I really love. But I do have quite a bit of Urban Decay Revolution lipsticks. I think those are really good quality. I have yet to try the Vice formula, but those Revolution lipsticks, I was heartbroken when those lipsticks were discontinued because I think they're an amazing formula. They have a really nice staying power. They're very comfortable on the lips and I absolutely love them. Mary Lou wants to know, have you considered doing travel vlogs? I have. As a matter of fact, when I went to Ireland, I tried to do a travel vlog. But first of all, I felt stupid because I've never vlogged, so I felt stupid walking with the camera and talking to the camera. And second of all, I felt like I was too worried about getting the perfect shot for the vlog that I was kind of missing out on the actually experiencing being there, that I just put my camera away and I just decided to enjoy being where I was. And I'm gonna be going to Greece in a couple of weeks. Yeah, in about 2 weeks. So I'm gonna try again to vlog that experience. Can't promise you guys anything, but I'm gonna try my hardest to vlog that. Hopefully I'll do a good job and it'll be interesting. But yes, I've tried, but I felt very self-conscious and I felt like I was missing out on actually experiencing it. So we'll see how this time around goes. Goska USS wants to know how my tips for keeping fit while working long hours. Well, thank you for thinking I look fit. I am not the fittest person at all. I'm not overweight. I'm in the higher end of my normal range for a healthy weight. I'm kind of at the top of the limit, but I'm still within normal range. But she says, you mentioned your work schedule. It seems tough when you manage to keep fit, look after yourself, and do stuff with your family and your dogs. I try to eat fairly healthy during the week. And because on the weekends, I know that's when, you go out with friends, family, and that's when you tend to indulge a little bit. So I try to eat as good as I can during the week. I always try to pack a lunch when I go to work because being a nurse, you know, they take you cookies and they take you donuts and they take you all this kind of food. And most of the time I don't say no to those things. I'll take like one here and one there. But I don't deprive myself of anything. I do try to not have any junk food in my house because I have no self-control, because I can't say no to anything. So like I have gone through a box of Oreo cookies in like 2 days, and I'm not exaggerating and I'm not kidding. You know, I'll get like a few cookies and then like 2 hours later, oh, well, let me get like 2 or 3 cookies more. And I'm just like munching on the cookies all day long, that in 2 days I'll finish the whole bag. So I try not to have junk food at the house. I try to work out at least 4 times a week, for sure 4 times a week, if not more. I try to fit it in when I can. I've tried to do it in the mornings before I go to work, but I'd have to get up super crazy early. So that didn't work for me. So I ended up doing it after work. And then sometimes I'm very, very busy. I very rarely work on Sundays. So I have had to make that effort of working out on Sundays when it should be kind of like people take off Sundays for working out. I've had to make that one of the days for me to work out, especially on the weekends, Fridays and Saturdays. That's usually when I work out longer at the gym, just because I have more time. But I just don't deprive myself of anything. I try to be pretty well-rounded. I try to like meal prep, but they're not like real meals, meal preps. I just try to cook at home, make home-cooked meals. I try to put veggies in every single dish that I make. I try to limit the amount of red meat that I eat. But my weakness is bread. Anything that's like cakes or cookies or bread, pasta. Oh, I love pasta. But since I like to run, I tell myself, well, you need the carbs for energy. But I'm just kind of like kidding myself. But I'm not the fittest person. I just do as much as I can. I could do a little bit more. I could do better, but yeah. Just Shields wants to know how I got into running. I never really thought about getting into running. I was working with a friend one time, and she approached me, said that her husband was gonna do a half marathon and he wanted her to do it with him, but she was like, no way. So she was gonna do the 5K. She signed up for the 5K, and she asked me if I would want to do it with her. I didn't know how long a 5K was. She said it was a little bit over 3 miles, and I thought that was like the longest distance ever. But she convinced me, and I did it, and I fell in love with it. I experienced that runner high that people talk about, because as soon as I finished the race, I was like, when can I do the next one? This was awesome. I feel great. And it's that high that runners get. After every single race, I always think, when can I do the next one? FTC MUA wants to know, what are your favorite brushes? The ones on your top list? What? What are your top ones you would want to have on hand, travel with, etc.? I have all kinds of ranges of brushes, from high-end to really cheapy ones. I love the ones from e.l.f. They're very inexpensive and they're great quality. The majority of the brushes that I have are from e.l.f. But the ones that I use for travel would have to be the ones from Real Techniques. Not because I like them the best, but because I had purchased a kit from Marshall's that came with a little pack, like a little place to store them. And you can fit like 4 or 5 brushes. So it comes with their little pouch, and it's like they're ready for travel, and you can stick other brushes in there along with the ones that came with the little package. So I like the compactability. That way they don't get like damaged in your luggage or anything like that. So the ones for travel would have to be the Real Techniques, but not because they're the best, but because they came in the little pouch that is perfect for travel. I got a lot of questions about my height, just because in that panning story video, I talked about how people call me baby giraffe. And I am 5'9", 5'10". I'm 5'9" barefoot, so if I'm wearing any kind of shoe, I will be 5'10". And in the region where I live, you are considered tall if you are 5'7". 5'7", 5'8", that's kind of like you're tall. So anything over that is like you're a giant. So I was always the tallest kid in my class. So since I was little, I'm the tallest one of my sisters. So I guess I was kind of like that awkward tall kid when I was young, and that's why they call me baby giraffe. I don't know. But yes, my height is about 5'9", 5'10". Lisa Marie wants to know, through your project panning, have you discovered your favorite Holy Grail ride or die products that if you were to start your collection over, would you only buy those favorite Holy Grail ride or die products? I have definitely found some stuff that I have repurchased, and things that I would repurchase in a heartbeat would be, I can tell you without even thinking, the True Match powder from L'Oreal, the True Match foundation from L'Oreal. I wear 3W in those two products. I have purchased those many times before. And I do have the powder, but I don't have the foundation because I haven't had to repurchase the foundation. I'm trying to go through as many foundations as I can, but I love those two. The powder is very finely milled, and it kind of like melts into your skin. You don't look powdery, you don't look cakey. It looks just really, really pretty on the skin. And the color, that line has an amazing color range. So the color is almost perfect on me. And the same thing with the foundation. It's very lightweight, kind of like a medium coverage. But it's also very lightweight, very natural looking on the skin, and I love it. Also, the Falsies mascara from Maybelline, a lot of people hate that, but I like the waterproof formula. It just keeps the curl of my lashes beautifully, and it makes them look really long, like Falsies lashes. So I love that. Also, what else? Those are the three things that came to my mind right away. Oh, bronzer, the Too Faced Chocolate Soleil bronzer. I love that bronzers. There are a lot of bronzers that I like the Laguna bronzer from NARS. I really like that bronzer. But the Too Faced Chocolate Soleil bronzer, I think that's the best bronzer. It looks very natural on me. It's kind of like it blends effortlessly. I've gone through several of those deluxe size samples, but I still have gone through several, and I never get tired of it. Maybe like when you're trying to pan it, you're like, oh, I'm hoping that I'll finish it fast, but not because like I want to get rid of it. I really, really enjoyed that one. The MAC Mineralized Skin Finish, I would repurchase that in a heartbeat too, because I loved it. I just finished recently the whole, in a project pan, I finished the whole thing and I loved it. And I wish I could repurchase it, but I can't at the moment. And lastly, I think I would repurchase a couple of the Jordana lip liners. I think those are really, really great lip liners for a drugstore, and they're very creamy and they have a really pretty range of colors. So I think those are the things that I would repurchase right away if I had to start my collection all over again. And I just realized that most of them were drugstore products, which is interesting because I feel like I don't go through that many drugstore items. So that is very interesting. Natalie Duca wants to know, do you put on makeup first thing in the morning? And she's talking this like if I'm running late, I guess. She says, I always put on makeup just before I leave the house, so if I oversleep or I run late, it's the thing that I skip and it's not good for my panning. So if I am gonna wear my makeup, it is the first thing that I do when I get ready. So not necessarily the first thing I do when I get up in the mornings, but the first thing I do when I'm getting ready to go somewhere. So if I'm running late, I'll still start with my face. And if I don't have time, then my hair goes up in a bun. That's just how, I do put my hair up in a bun when I'm like having lazy days or whatever. But if I'm running late, my hair is the last thing that takes priority. It's a good thing about having long hair that you can just do almost anything with it. But yes, putting on my makeup is the first thing that I do when I'm getting ready. Some people ask about my no-buy, how I feel about if my makeup, if I feel like things have gotten easier since my no-buy, or if my no-buy has changed my perspective on buying makeup and panning things. So it kind of has not gotten easy, just because there are so many collections coming out that I want, and I just I want to get them. But when there's no releases, like I don't feel like whatever, like it's just another day. But if there's a release that I am interested in, it does feel really, really hard. Although I will admit that sometimes I feel like I should reward myself for being so good. But I feel like if I do reward myself, I'm gonna go crazy. So I have to kind of like, no, you're okay. You'll do fine. Andrea Megan wants to know, what's your least favorite thing to pan? And what is my least favorite thing to pan? I guess it depends on the quality of the product. There are some shadows that, like eyeshadows, that I have found very hard to pan. Like the full exposure duo from Smashbox that I had. That eyeshadow really has like almost no pigmentation. I have to use a I have to use a glitter glue. I have to use a wet brush, and that just takes too much effort. So if it takes too much work to make a product work, that's my least favorite thing to pan. But if it's very easy to work with, then I love it. But it's not so much like of a specific product. It's just if the quality of the product is bad and I hate it, then that's what's gonna be my least favorite thing to pan. MacAddict19 wants to know my favorite place that I've traveled to so far. And that would be, I think, Morocco. I love traveling through Europe just because of all the history and the castles and just like I'm a big history buff. I love history. So like putting myself in the shoes of the people who walked those castles and those gardens and like all the history that's there, it's really, really interesting to me. But I just found Morocco so exotic because the architecture is different. The food is very different. The language is extremely different. So yeah, I would have to say Morocco was my favorite. And it wasn't as hot as I thought it would be. But yeah, I really liked Morocco. Monica I wants to know, have I ever thought about not panning anymore? And I have. There was a couple months ago, I felt like, because that's pretty much all I do on my channel is project panning, and I felt like I was taking on too many products and I wasn't seeing like much progress, and I was kind of working on like on the same, like I felt like I wasn't rotating through project pans as much as I would have liked. I was kind of getting bored. I felt stuck in a rut. But once I started finishing those project pans that I was working on, and I started adding new things and new projects, I kind of like felt the fun again. But yeah, definitely I've thought of times of like why am I doing this? Like, because I take project panning very seriously, if you hadn't noticed yet. Sometimes I feel like I'm putting like a little bit too much pressure instead of making it be fun. But I kind of like talked myself up and, you know, pep talked myself and I just got over it, and I was like, hey, people, and reading people's comments about how like I'm inspiring them and I'm a motivation for them to use up their makeup and helping them through, like, as silly as that might sound, it kind of like motivates me to keep motivating other people, you know what I mean? So yes, I've thought about it, but I'm glad that I haven't quit yet. Jessica Elvira wants to know, what are the items that you finish fast and what are the ones that you have a hard time with? Something that I finish really fast are lip products. I can go through lip products really fast just because I get constantly reapplying. And items that I have a hard time with are, like, again, like those products that just the formula, the quality of the product is not there and I have to force myself to use, like that Smashbox shadow that I showed you guys, that I talked to you guys about. Those are the things that I have a hard time with. But other than that, I can't really name like a specific category or type of product. Shades of Cat says, happy paniversary. That's really cute. What is your favorite makeup brand? Like I said in my Project Pan Roulette finale or semifinals, I really don't have a favorite brand. It kind of comes and goes. I really get into one brand and I use a lot of their products, and then I try something new, different, and then I'll get into that brand. But lately I've been really into Kat Von D and Urban Decay. So I would have to say that those two brands, but then the whole Kat Von D thing started that, oh boy, we're not gonna go there. So yes, I would have to say those two. Ellen Mirando wants to know the name of my dog. I actually have two. Lexi is the white and brown one that you guys see everywhere because she's kind of like really nosy and she kind of like rubs up against me and very needy and spoiled. Buddy is my husky. You guys might have seen him every now and then. He has one blue eye, one one brown eye, and he's like super chill and mellow. He's like, I say that he's a fake husky because he is not hyper, he is not loud, he is not a destroyer. I did a lot of research when I first got him, and I was like overwhelmed, and I was like, oh my god, he's gonna destroy my house, he's gonna, you know, ruin my life forever. But he's always sleeping. He's like either eating or sleeping. That's all. I never hear him bark or howl or anything like that. It's pretty much Lexi the one who does everything. So I always joke that if anybody like broke into the house, Buddy would be like, and Lexi would be the one to defend me. But yes, I have those two dogs, Buddy and Lexi. Raneen Jamshidian, I hope I said that right, wants to know what area of nursing I work in. I work in the medical renal unit in my hospital. So pretty much like any med-surg diagnosis and anything kidney related, from the transplants that we do transplant at our hospital. Any kidney transplant patient, any patients on dialysis, any kind of like acute or chronic renal diagnosis, they go to my unit. Rin Rinker wants to know, have you ever had an item that you were glad you didn't reach your goal on? No, because my goal is always to finish, and if I don't finish, I feel like a failure. So no. Charlotte T wants to know, do you prefer cool toned or warm toned makeup? 100% warm tones. I feel like cool tones don't look good on me. I feel like they look very muddy, and I feel like they make me look very dated. Maybe I don't know how to combine cool tone colors, but I feel like I'm in an 80s video when I wear cool tone makeup. So yes, no cool tone makeup for me. Kaylee Tay wants to know about my skincare routine. Simple question is, I always start with a toner, then I add a serum, then my moisturizer. If it's during the day, that's for the nighttime. If it's for the day, I put a sunscreen between my serum and my moisturizer. Now, if you want to talk about like specific brands, that could change from month to month, just because I have so much skincare, deluxe size samples. Right now, I'm using my Kiehl's Midnight Recovery Concentrate mixed in with an e.l.f. moisturizer for my for my night routine. And then the toner that I'm using are some toner pads from Arcona. And then the serum that I'm using for the night is one from Shiseido. Now for the daytime, I am using the Drunk Elephant Pharmacy, I think that's what it's called, serum. And then I am using a L'Oreal sunscreen oil. And then my moisturizer for the day is a Glam Glow matte glow moisturizer. I think that's what it's called. And for the toner, again, it's the Arcona pads. But like I said, those things, because most of them are deluxe size samples, they will be changing from month to month. But pretty much the categories stay the same. Soya AXL Soya wants to know, okay, she has several questions. When I went to Ireland, what places did you visit? We stayed in Dublin, that's where we flew into, but then we took a few day tours. Is that how you say it? Like one day we went to the Cliffs of Moher. So that is like, Dublin is right here. It's in the west coast of the country, and then the Cliffs of Moher are right here, which are on the east coast of the country. So we had to like take a bus and drive across the whole country. So that was a whole day thing, but it was an experience. Those cliffs are a thing to experience. They're famous for a reason. So one day we took a tour to the Cliffs of Moher. The other day we took a tour through the countryside. We went to Kilkenny. We went to I can't think of the other. We went to like two or three, Kilkenny and two more little towns. And we just got to explore the countryside. We went to that bridge where they filmed the P.S. I Love You. If you've seen that movie, we went to the bridge where they have that scene. And then we went to see a little dog sheep herding like demonstration. They showed us how they trained the dogs, and then they showed us how they had a little demonstration of how the guy was giving the dog directions and the dog was bringing in the sheep. Really, really cool. And then we went to Blarney Castle, which is in the southwest of the country. It's in Cork. and we spent like the whole day there exploring Cork, and then in the castle we kissed the Blarney Stone. Let's see what else. And then another day we went up to Northern Ireland. We went to Belfast. We went to the Giant's Causeway. We went to the Titanic Museum. We went to that, it's kind of like a castle, like a ruins, but it's a castle where they filmed Game of Thrones. I've never seen Game of Thrones, so I don't know the significance of it, but my sister was really excited, but I was like, oh, okay, Game of Thrones, I've seen it. So we went there, and then within Dublin, we visited a bunch of museums. We went to the Trinity College. What else did we do? We ate a lot of food. Irish food is good. We did some shopping. So we kind of went like all over the country. We probably needed like a whole month, probably needed like a whole 2 or 3 weeks to like really take our time and see everything that we wanted to see. Definitely would love to come back. The weather is beautiful. Anything other than the desert to me is beautiful. But yeah, so that was part one of the question. The second part is, what other countries have I visited? Okay, let's see. Well, first, of course, Mexico. I've been to Mexico multiple times. Then I've been to, let's say, Ireland, and then Northern Ireland. Let's go east. England, France, Italy, Spain, Morocco, Germany, Austria, Switzerland, Liechtenstein. That's really hard to say. The Vatican. I've been to the Vatican. And then hopefully, like I said, in 2 weeks, God willing, I'll be going to Greece for a little bit over a week. We're gonna be in Athens for a couple days, and then we're gonna take a Greek cruise around the island. So Laura Aguirre wants to know, how old am I? I am 33. Thanks for asking. I'm kidding. It really doesn't matter to me. How have your family members reacted to the amount of makeup you have accumulated? They're kind of like shocked, but they're not into makeup, so like they don't care. And I don't have like my makeup in display, so it's not like anybody who sees it, they're gonna, unless they go through like my closet, which is where I keep the main storage of my makeup is, they'll know. So like I said, I don't have like a whole beauty room dedicated to my makeup, and the makeup that I do have is kind of like hidden in a dark, cool place to, in my mind, keep it fresh. But my mom, one time when she was helping me organize my closet, or she was helping me clean out my closet, I don't know what she was doing, but she saw it and she was like, oh my God, you should give me some. That was her thing. And she like every now and then will hint that, you know, oh, I'm running low on this and I'm running low on that. So I could like give her something. And I have given her a couple of times. I think I've posted the videos of things that I've unhauled onto her. And as a matter of fact, last week I gave her some of my nail polishes. I think my mom's the one who benefits the most. Delane wants to know, what are you most proud of panning in the past? And that would be my Urban Decay Vice lipstick palette. That palette took me like the whole 2017 to pan. It was very hard for me to reapply, so it was very frustrating for me. Because it's very easy for me to put like my lipstick or my lip gloss in my pocket and then just reapply throughout the day, but that thing is like this big, so there's no way that I can put it in my pocket or somewhere. So if I ever had to like sneak into the restroom at work, like taking that thing to reapply, it was just hard. I mean, I loved the colors. I loved all the colors and all the quality. You know, I just said that I've never tried the Vice lipstick formula, but I didn't. I panned the whole palette, so I forgot those were Vice lipsticks. Anyway, but yeah, that is like I am the most proud of panning that palette, and I've realized I never want to buy or own another lipstick palette again. I have learned my lesson with that one. Cherish asked me a question. I was very excited about this. She asked, what is your favorite lipstick and what is your favorite summer fragrance? My favorite lipstick would have to be from NARS, and it's one of those matte velvet lip pencils. I don't know if they still sell them anymore. It's been a while, but a while back they were like all over the place, and they were actually a gift with purchase from Sephora for your birthday. Not a gift with purchase, it was a gift for your birthday, and it's in the color Cruella. It's a very pretty red. It's a matte red, but it's a very comfortable matte. It doesn't move around on your lips. It doesn't bleed out. For it being a red lipstick, it stays really nice. You don't need like a lip liner or a lip primer. It really stays, and it just makes me feel very like sophisticated and like pretty, and I don't know, it's just that color. It makes my teeth look really, really white. It just makes me feel like sexy, but not like in a sexy, like slutty way, like a sexy in a sophisticated way. I love that color. I do have another one, but I am like treasuring it. Again, I don't know if they, very rarely do I repurchase lip products because I have so many. But that, I love that one. And then for the second part of the question, my go-to or my favorite summer fragrance, I don't really have like seasonal scents. I really just use whatever any time of the year, and I don't really categorize my fragrances by season. I just, whatever I feel like wearing, I'll be wearing that, unless like I choose a product fragrance to pan, I'll be using it. But really, other than that, I really don't have, I don't separate my fragrances by season. Adela Martinez asks a very hard question. What is your opinion on cruelty-free versus non-cruelty-free makeup? This is a very controversial topic, and it's a very personal choice. I myself am not cruelty-free completely, but I do love animals. I have 2 dogs. My parents have a dog. They also have fish. When we grew up, we had a dog. So I love animals. So I don't want to feel like I'm a hypocrite for not being cruelty-free, because I realize that a lot of animals are harmed while these companies test these items on animals. But I think that just because you're not cruelty-free doesn't mean that you don't care for animals. And I was vegan for about a year, and I went vegan for that reason of, you know, wanting to help in decreasing animal cruelty. But I kind of feel like a hypocrite, like, yes, you're being vegan to help decrease animal suffering, yet you're using makeup that's not cruelty-free, you're using skincare that's not cruelty-free, you're doing all these other things that are not cruelty-free, but yet you're trying to help. So I think that you have to, it can't be just a fad. You have to really, really be dedicated into going to cruelty-free. And it's awesome for those people that can do it. I myself, I'm not at that point right now, even though I do love animals. I'm very compassionate to animals, but I feel like one day I'll get into that stage in my life where I can really be cruelty-free, not just with makeup, but with like my body care items and my cleaning items and my cleaning supplies and everything. One day it would be awesome. It's hard, and maybe one day I will be 100% completely cruelty-free, but unfortunately right now I'm not there yet. It's awesome for those people who are, but I'm not there yet. Catherine Miracola wants to know, what is your go-to never fail makeup look? And this is this would be kind of like my lazy day. It looks like I put effort, but not really. It's getting so dark. But that would be like concealer under my eyes, powder my face, brown eyeliner, not black because black looks really harsh, but just brown eyeliner, mascara, and lip gloss, and that's it. I think like wearing brown liner on myself, I think it really like opens up my eyes and it makes me look really awake, and it looks like I said, it looks like I put some effort into it, even though I didn't really. But that is my go-to never fail, easy to go makeup. Jordan Kaylin wants to know, what is my favorite video that I have ever filmed? And I think I would have to say my favorite videos to film are my year-long makeup empties, because you don't realize how much makeup you go through, and sometimes like I'll be separating everything on the table and I'm like, oh, I used that, I didn't even remember that I used that, and I really liked it, now I remember. So it's kind of like putting the whole year into perspective and realizing how much I finished. Granted, I've only done 2 videos, one for 2016 and one for 2017, but realizing how much stuff I actually go through is pretty crazy. I will leave those two videos linked in the description box if you guys are interested. But yes, those are my favorite videos to film. There can be a little bit time consuming because of I have a year's worth of makeup empties to sort through, but they're a lot of fun. Very, very fun. Abby Cohen wants to know what is my favorite holiday, and that would be Christmas. I love Christmas. I know Christmas is not about buying gifts and gifting to people, but I love buying presents for other people. Like that is like I love to like think about what this person might want and will they like it, and then having to wrap it. And it's just, I love doing all of that. As nerdy and geeky as that might sound, that's very fun for me. So when Christmas time comes, or for people's birthdays and like anniversary or Father's Day or Mother's Day, I just go crazy gifting people. But Christmas, that time of getting together with people, and the weather is lovely. So yes, Christmas would have to be my favorite holiday. Cassie wants to know, other than reading and makeup, what other hobbies do you enjoy? And I would have to say running. I love to run. It's just very relaxing, kind of clears your mind, very distressful. Taking baths, is that a hobby? I love taking baths, especially. I have like this routine, like every Friday I have to take a bath. Kind of like the end of the week, just sit in the tub for a while, unless I have something to do. But for the most part on Fridays, I love to take baths. And going to the movies, is that a hobby, going to the movies? If movies weren't so expensive to go to, I would go every single weekend, because I love going to the movies. I think going to the movies is really fun. With my popcorn and my cherry icy, I'm set. That's what I need to have when I go watch movies. I'm not really much of a nachos or hot dogs or candies or chocolates. It has to be popcorn, no butter, with a cherry icy. Not a Coke, not a water, not any other kind of soda, just a cherry icy. My mouth just filled with saliva. Ashley Nieper wants to know what floor unit is your favorite, talking about nursing. My favorite unit has to be med-surg. I know it's crazy. A lot of people hate med-surg. You really need a special heart to be med-surg nurse, I think. I've been med-surg for the majority of the time. I did ICU for about 2 years, didn't like it. The personality of the ICU nurses, just, I don't know if it was just the culture of that unit, but they were very like mean, and whenever I asked for help, they were very like sarcastic and rude. They made me feel stupid for not knowing certain things. So I was more stressed trying to find out who I was going to be working with than by the actual work itself. So that unit was just not good for me. And then I worked endoscopy for a little bit over a year. One of the doctors that I worked with at the hospital offered me a job at his clinic, at his practice, and I took it. It was pretty easy money, but I got really bored really fast, because it's the same thing. It's procedure after procedure after procedure, and it's the same procedure. So that wasn't for me, so I went back to med-surg. It's the same med-surg unit that I've been in for the past 10 years. I think we have a great teamwork, and we all get along really well, and I think that's the teamwork environment and relationships that I have with the people. I think that's what's kept me there for that long, because like they've set the bar up really high, so that when I go to other places, it's like they don't have the teamwork that we have. So yeah, I really love med-surg. And the last question that I'm going to answer, and I hope it's the last question that I have here, is from Cinderella, because as you guys can tell, it's like super dark. Cinderella wants to know, she's also in the medical field, and she wants to know if I have ever felt like quitting. And here go the dogs. Yes, I have. I felt like quitting one time, and that was last year. Last year we went through several things at work. We were very short-staffed, and I was having to staff. I'm a coordinator, so I'm kind of like half a staff nurse and half an administrator, like a manager. So technically it's my director, and then me, the coordinator, and then the charge nurses, and then the staff nurses. So I'm the coordinator, but we were very, very short, so I would have to staff in as a charge nurse to help alleviate the shortness that we had. But then we were very short at night too, so sometimes like I would staff in as a charge nurse during the day and then come into work the next day, and it's like, oh, we're short again, and somebody called in for tonight, so I'd have to go home, try to sleep during the day so I could come back that night and work 12 hours in the night shift. And then it was a lot of going back and forth. At this time, we were getting ready for a CMS survey. CMS, I don't know what it stands for, to be honest, but they kind of, they decide if the hospital, it's up to par, I guess, to receive funds from Medicare and Medicaid. The hospital that I work for, because of the region, a lot of our patients are low income people and all they have is Medicare and Medicaid. So if we didn't pass that inspection, like 70% of our population, we wouldn't be able to take the 70% of the population that we see. So we'd be stuck with like the 30% of the people that have like private insurance. And so the hospital just wouldn't be able to keep afloat with just taking care of people who have private insurance. So that was a big deal. It was a lot of pressure trying to make sure that everything was in order. At the same time, we had JACO coming in to survey us. JACO is who accredits the hospital for staying open at all, making sure that, you know, it's safe. It was just very, very stressful times, and I just went into my boss's office and I was like, I can't do this. Like I can't. First of all, I feel like I'm tired. Like I am exhausted for this preparation for these surveys, plus having to staff in one day days and then another day nights. And I feel like the staff like could feel the pressure from like the big administrators, and they would get mad at us for pushing them because like the hospital would hire like other agencies and they would give the recommendations of how we should make things better. And a lot of times people don't like change. I'm more of like, okay, well, we're documenting this now, and then, you know, later on they change the documentation to something else, and I'm just kind of like, I just roll with it, like whatever. But a lot of people were like, well, we've been doing this for like 5 years. Why do we need to change it to this? And a lot of people resist change, and that makes it really hard on you as an administrator, because I don't know why people just don't roll with the punches. Like why do you have to know like the why? They're like, well, why do we have to change it? And you can explain to them about how it's been evidence-based practice, that it works better, and people are just like stuck in their old ways. And especially the people who have been there for a long time. The newer staff were kind of like, oh, well, this is actually better. It's less work for us. But the other people were like, well, we've been doing this for 20 years. How come we have to change it now? So having that resistance from the staff, and then them being upset because we were short-staffed, and then me feeling like they weren't thankful for me stepping in and helping them by staffing in. I just felt like my hard work wasn't being like recognized and appreciated, and I was exhausted. And I just needed a vacation. So and I knew my boss was pregnant and she was gonna go on maternity leave soon. So I knew that the whole unit was gonna fall on my responsibility. So I was just very, very overwhelmed and tired, and honestly overworked. I think we all were. We were going in on our days off to just help with preparation for the survey. And I just went into my boss's office and I told her everything that I was feeling, and I started crying, and then she started crying. And then I guess like venting and letting it all out helped me realize like I can't do that. I just needed to let it out. Like I was keeping all these emotions inside, and like as soon as I let it all out, like I felt better. But after like letting it all out, I felt like I renewed my strength, and I was like I felt ready to go at it hard again, you know what I mean? So I definitely felt like quitting, sometimes sometimes more than others, but that one time was really the time where I was like, I have had it. Forget this place. I can easily go somewhere else and not have to deal with any of this. But because I really care about my work and the people that I work for, I've been at the hospital ever since I was a nursing student, so I feel like there's a sense of loyalty on my part for that facility. They paid for my school, and I know I shouldn't stay there forever just out of obligation, but I honestly love it. That's the hospital where my grandparents went to. My parents, when they get sick, they go there. My sister had surgery recently. She went there. So it's kind of like, I don't know, I just have a sense of loyalty to this place that I feel like I don't want to leave, but I have definitely felt like I've wanted to quit. So, and that's, I hope I didn't bump you guys down with that with that answer. But anyway, guys, that is my video, my Q&A video for celebrating my 2-year anniversary here on YouTube. I hope you guys enjoyed getting to know me a little bit more and getting to know more about me. Thank you guys so much for participating and for leaving me these questions. It was a lot of fun answering these, and I'm sorry if the lighting is like totally changed, but it's like already like 8:15. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you on my next video. Bye.